Hello everyone, it's Grandpa Hickory. Welcome to my video. I've had a lot of inquiries about my esophageal robotic surgery that I had done to me. I had no choice in the matter. They had put me in the hospital. I was extremely sick. My wife had died and my esophagus was shredded inside of me. It was hanging down like this. Now the esophagus is like a little it's like a little balloon, and it's about this long, and it's like a tube. And you know, a balloon like you get and you blow up, for kids, and you tie them up and you let the kids throw them around, or you make water balloons out of. Okay, your esophagus, your esophagus is that thin. Okay, and as you eat food, it passes through your esophagus. Now, when you're under a lot of stress like I was, my wife was dying. I couldn't go to work. I couldn't do anything. For 3 months, I was with her day and night, day and night. My wife died a horrible death from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And Aetna Insurance had her put on Exloda, which created 3 tumors in the brain. I'm not going to bore you with all that, but God sees and God shall judge the murderers of the American Medical Association and these insurance people that want patients dead instead of taking care of them. Anyway, I went to the hospital. They called me in. I couldn't eat. It was horrible what I was going through. And they took me in and they started an IV on me. And then they gave me a shot, and then they wheeled me in. We had prayer before I went in, because I insisted on prayer. And then they reeled me in, and they had these metal things like stainless steel metal things that you can unscrew and raise it like a microphone, a microphone stand. And they raise up off the floor, and they come up underneath the neck, and they grab right here, and they raise your head way back. In so doing, your esophagus is shoved towards the surgeon that's going to be doing the surgery on a stool, her and an assistant. Then your arms are taken behind your back like this, and they're pulled way up, and one of those clamps from the ground up are put up underneath you, and then they crank them up. But then they do the same thing with your feet. The feet's put together, and you're laying down. You've been suspended on these 2 things, and you're not even out yet. You're not even out. And then they come and they do the same thing to your feet. They put both feet together, and then they come up with that metal thing that picks up both feet together, and then they Velcro them in. All of them are Velcroed. And then they crank them up. They move the scans in and everything. Scanners, whatever you call them. It's the medical equipment that they use in surgery. And then they bring the little robots in. I had 4 robots that did the surgery on me. They're little bitty things. But anyway, I was then put completely out because I was suspended up off the floor. It was like torture, people. And for weeks afterwards, I hurt all in my shoulders. I hurt in my neck, my upper back right in here. My legs were bruised where that metal thing had me and gripped me. And, of course, they cranked it up because they had to. They've got to have your body like this. But now you're talking laying down, not standing up. Because it's got to push the esophagus towards the surgeon. It's got to be fully expanded so they can go in there with the robots. And they stitched on me for 4.5 hours. They stitched my esophagus completely up. And I was put on a liquid diet for 1.5 years. I lost 53 pounds. And I'm telling you, it's just God that brought me through that. It really is. That was the most horriblest thing that I have ever been through in all of my life. And my surgeon talked to me later on after the surgery, about 8.5 weeks, she came to see me. And she talked with me and told me, she said, you were telling me that you've eaten a lot of Mexican food and everything. I said, yes, ma'am. Me and my wife always, we ate at Don Ayala's and places like that. We love the tostadas and chips. She said, that's what I want to talk to you about, the tostadas and hot sauce. She said, sir, when you eat those crispy fried tortillas, which are called chips, and you eat that hot sauce, which is called salsa, she said, when you eat those chips, it's just like you are ingesting crushed glass. And she says, as that goes through that tube of the esophagus, it shreds it. Plus the stress you're under. I had a very stressful job, horribly stressful. And God will judge those people that cause those problems. I forgive, I'm going on. But God will avenge, God will avenge us. He says, revenge is mine, saith the Lord. I will repay. And then again, he says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I will repay. I will recompense. But anyway, that's what I went through. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'm Grandpa Hickory. And I just wanted to answer a lot of comments I've had of people requesting more information about my esophageal surgery that I had. Now, this has been 4 years ago. So I'm still having trouble eating. I have to take, I take ox bile. I'm not telling you what to do. I take ox bile, and I also take digestive enzymes. And no medical doctor told me about this at all. The Lord's the one that led me to these things. And now I can eat my food, but a lot of times I take it too late. And, I tell you what, I have a terrible time eating. I'm very lactose intolerant. And, like I said, I was on a liquid diet for a year and a half, and my stomach shrunk. Then when I started going back to whole food, I had trouble swallowing, because you have to learn how to eat all over again. Because I was on that horrible liquid protein stuff called Ensure. Oh, that's the most horriblest stuff I ever drank in my whole life. But anyway, you have a good day, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye from Texas. Have a good one.